Clayton Kershaw. Will there ever be another one? Let's talk about it, because I don't think there will, but for a lot of reasons. So recently, Clayton Kershaw went out and got his 3,000th strikeout. Congratulations, Clayton. It's been quite the ride. The guy is amazing. He's always been amazing, and we're going to talk about just how amazing he has been. So he in his last inning the other day got a slider looking for the last out of his outing to walk off, and then had like a 35-minute standing O. I'm pretty sure it was actually 6 minutes, but either way, very impressive. But we have a lot of great reporting, namely much of which is from the legend Sarah Langs over at MLB.com, the stats wizard herself. So we'll be using some of hers. But basically, I want to break down Clayton Kershaw's career by the numbers, all the amazing things he does, because it's one of those baseball references pages that once you go there, you can get lost and be there for a very long time. And then we want to figure out, we're going to ask some questions, see if anyone will be able to do some of the things he did again. This might be the last time we see some of these things, and I want to know what your opinion is in the chat or in the comments, okay? So first, let's start with rankings all time. And I want to do this while we are sitting here and looking at his flippin' stat line, because that is stupid. Almost 80 career WAR. We have 216 wins, 2.52 ERA, which is very good, and we'll talk about how good in a moment. Almost 2,800 innings and 3,000 strikeouts with a 101 WHIP, and that is with not the strongest last few years. So amazing, but literally by the numbers rankings all time, he is first in career ERA among live ball era starters with a 2.52. He is fifth all time in career WHIP with a 1.0135. 20th career in career strikeouts, is 20th ever to 3,000. Second strikeout to walk ratio all time with a 4.34. Third in strikeouts per nine with a 9.7. Yes, that is higher than Nolan Ryan. That's almost an entire, it's more than a strikeout higher. See that coming? Didn't think so. He is also fifth in ERA plus with a 1.55 career. 11th in game in game win and loss percentage. So win-loss percentage his whole career is 697 or 69.7%. He's tied for fifth in a total of Cy Youngs with 3. And he is first all-time in consecutive ERA titles since 1962 when he won 4 straight. And that's just some of the things he's ranked top 20 all-time in. I'd say he's probably a Hall of Famer. Don't you think? We already mentioned his statistics for his career. But I also went on to Baseball Reference and looked up my favorite stats, splits. So I'm going to tell you all the things about Clayton's career that he did best based on where he was, what time of year it was, what month it was, so on and so forth. So these are my favorite statistics from Baseball Reference. He was best at home. He has a 2.27 ERA, a 10.9 K per nine, and only allowed 1,088 hits in 1,454 innings in Dodger Stadium, because that is the only team he ever played for. He also has a career 0.984 WHIP at home. So pretty good in a park that is notoriously hitter-friendly. He was always the strongest in the second half. He has a career 2.31 ERA as opposed to a 2.77 on the road, which is also better than most guys. Like the 2.77 on the road is better than Pedro Martinez's career 2.93 ERA. So that puts it in perspective. July has historically been his best month, and he just so happened to get 3,000 strikeouts in July, which I think is awesome. He is 35-9. So it's the only month he ever had less than 10 losses, and every other month had 15 or more, which is interesting. He has a career 193 in July with a .931 WHIP. That's crazy. He also won all the battles he was supposed to win. That was something my dad always said when he was talking about pitchers. So a career against 7 to 9 hitters that were not pitchers. So there's no pitchers in this. There's no pitchers. 7 through 9 hitters hit 189 against him career with an anemic 525 OPS. He also was really good at getting ahead and then just putting them away. He hitters hit 143 with a 410 OPS. That's him career with 2 strikes, including full counts. That's just as good as I've ever seen. I was really good in that situation as well. He is way better than me. Almost 200 OPS points better. So I can't even get near him with my best thing, which sucks. Anyway, he was clutch. He allowed a 197 career average with runners in scoring position, which is much lower than his career average of 211, I believe. So that's also interesting. He's a strong finisher. His best inning in a game, the 8th. As a starting pitcher for the 8th inning to be your most productive inning is crazy. Hitters only managed a 179 average against him and a 482 OPS in the 8th inning. He also threw in the 8th inning 87 different times. So he got to the 8th 87 times in his career. Also, pitches 76 plus in an outing were his toughest on hitters. He had the slowest triple slash of any other 25 pitch segment. So it goes 1 to 25, 26 to 50, so on and so forth. And the high one from 76 on was his lowest production for a hitter, for hitters. He's also a rival killer. He performed the best against the San Francisco Giants, sporting a career 2 flat with 413 Ks to 70 walks in 404 innings and a .915 whip. Giants fans, you are aware of this, I am sure. Clayton Kershaw owns the Giants. He was also a road monster. He loved pitching at AT&T in San Francisco, of course, having a 1.69 ERA there career. But he also loved Miller Park in Milwaukee, now known as American Family Park, I believe, or American Insurance or something. He threw a crisp 1.54 ERA there, averaging 7 innings a start for 10 starts, which is crazy. Last couple here, A.J. Ellis caught him the most and was his best battery mate. Kershaw threw a career 197 with A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Speaking of behind the plate, Kershaw must love having umpire Greg Gibson on the call. In 8 games with Gibson, Kershaw was 7-0 with a 1.6 ERA in 56 innings. That's an average of 7 innings and 1 out. He allowed only 31 hits while striking out 72 with a .746 whip. Greg Gibson, you must really like the man, as do we all. And those are my favorite splits. So if you're ever wondering any of that stuff about a pitcher or a hitter, where they were best, what park they played in, go to the splits page on Baseball Reference. I love it. I hang out there all the time. I'm such a nerd. Oh my God. You know what? I'm a nerd, so you guys don't have to be.
Hey, let's do a little player spotlight thanks to Arena Club. AJ, give me a player this season that you think is underrated and you might want to try and grab his card.
James Wood. I don't know that he's underrated, but Washington Nationals superstar in the making, and the first slab pack I ever opened had him in it. His rookie card, and the value is only going to go up and up and up. And I'm not going to sell it quite yet, Scott. I'm going to hold on to it because after he continues to hit big homers and put up the stats, make all-star teams, it's going to get more expensive for someone to buy for me.
This is his first full season in the majors. Keep that in mind. I think he's underrated. He's on a Nationals team that's meh. Not getting enough attention. He might hit underrated 40 homers.
When he makes the All-Star team this year, they're not going to be underrated.
That helps. He's been intentionally walked 4 times in a game. Anyway, if you want to try and find a Wood rookie card, go check out slab packs on Arena Club. And right now you can get 20% off your first slab pack, or if you just want to go with a card purchase, go to arenaclub.com/FOUL. Use code FOUL. If you buy, sell, trade, collect, go for
it. So Sarah Langs also gave some of her most interesting numbers. These are the strikeouts, specifically by the numbers. In his career, Clayton Kershaw has struck out 959 different players. He added 3 new players for his 3 strikeouts in his last game. They were all his first time striking those guys out. So could he possibly get to 1,000? Probably not, but he might. The guy he struck out the most, Brandon Belt, 30 times. The team he struck out the most, the Giants, 413 times. The pitch he threw for a strikeout the most, slider, 1,314. That's crazy, even though I believe he's known for his curveball more. That's very interesting. But that also is the lowest strikeout pitch, 743. And then he struck out 899 guys with the 4-seam fastball, and he's a 3-pitch pitcher, which is also really interesting. So that brings us kind of to the crux of this, the questions we want to ask. Will we ever see some of these accomplishments again? So will we see another pitcher strike out 3,000 with the nature of careers and how they are shorter? Will we see it? Well, this is the current leaderboard of current players with the number of strikeouts behind the three that are over 3,000 that are pitching in Verlander, Scherzer, and Kershaw. We have Chris Sale, who is at 2,528. So will Chris Sale get there? I believe he will. He is getting up there a little bit in age. He's 36 or 37. So he's still 400 and something away, but I think that he will get there if he plays 2 or 3 more years. At least, I think he will. Garrett Cole, I think, is pretty likely to do it too. He is a little bit younger. He's 35. Is he 35, 34, 35? He's got 5 more years on his contract. For him to throw 750 more strikeouts, I think he will be. And he only had his first Tommy John, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a phase 2 of Garrett Cole. It's very good. But these other guys, Charlie Morton, he's not going to get there, though. That is very impressive. Darvish, he's, like we said, he's turning 39 years old. He's getting older. And Kevin Gossman, he's 1,200 away. I don't think those guys are close. Are there some young guys that might? Sure. Paul Skeens is of the world, But Doug DeGrom's not going to probably get there. He's farther down this list. I think of only the two that are I think Sale's likely, very likely. I think that Cole is pretty likely, and then I don't think anyone else. And I don't really know. I don't really know if a guy like Paul Skeens will be able to pitch long enough to get there. We will see. But like I said, you got to strike out 200 guys 15 years. That's so many strikeouts. That's so many. So it all depends on length of career. Outside of those two, though, I would not be surprised if 2,500 becomes the new 3,000, as they say. Second interesting thing, he's only the fourth left-handed pitcher to hit 3,000 Ks. You notice, none of these guys are lefties, and I believe there's no lefty until we get to 14 or 15 on the list. And so for us to see another lefty at 3,000 strikeouts, very unlikely for me. I don't see teams guys just don't get an opportunity to stay around that long unless they are absolutely dominant. So maybe, I hope so, but in my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. Number 3, Kershaw joins Walter Johnson and Bob Gibson as the only pitchers with 3,000 more career strikeouts for one team. Now, Sale's pitch for different teams and Garrett Cole's pitch for different teams. So in order for one guy to have to pitch long enough with one team to get 3,000 strikeouts, it's hard enough to get 3,000. I just don't think teams sign guys like this anymore. I don't think we're going to see careers like this anymore. Guys are going to go in free agency. It sucks. But who knows? There are always unicorns. Frankly, Clayton Kershaw is a unicorn too. So another guy could come along and be a unicorn and just completely flip everything upside down. But right now, there's no real candidate in the running for this. But who knows? Maybe Paul Skeens will pitch for the Pirates for his whole career. He's not left-handed, though. So, again, the premise stands. So I'm not that hopeful for that one either. Number 4, he has three pitch strikeouts. He has 608 3-pitch strikeouts. That is an ungodly number. I believe he's third in the wild card era behind Max Scherzer and Randy Johnson. And so you need 2 things, swing and miss ability and incredible command. And I just couldn't tell you who would be in that list. Now, Paul Skeens, I think, has a good chance for this one. So I do think this is probably the most likely to happen again. Over 600 3-pitch strikeouts. But we'll just have to see. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know on all of these in the comments, by the way, and in the chat. I really want to know. And then last one, will we see another 300-game winner? Because right now, Verlander is leading with 262. By all accounts, he's probably not going to get there. Kershaw has 216. He probably isn't going to get there either. Will we see another 300-game winner? I don't think so. If of all of the ones that we have talked about so far, the one that's least likely to happen is probably the 300 wins, and he's not even in that list either. So, in conclusion, Clayton Kershaw is part of a dying breed, right? And careers are getting shorter. Guys are throwing harder. And the days of 20-plus year careers, especially for pitchers, are probably behind us. Now, this can be really sad. A lot of people can say that's worse. The game is worse because of that. But at the same time, like, we're getting more infusions of young guys and more exciting players and higher level play more often too. So it's a trade-off. I just think it's a new era of baseball. I think there's both. We should look back fondly and we should give these guys their due and be very excited for them and their achievements. But we should also be okay with the game changing and those rules changing for what greatness is. We've had lots of different eras. We distinguish with the live ball era and the dead ball era and the wild card era. The game changes a lot. We make these asterisks a lot. This is going to be another one. But Clayton Kershaw may be the last inductee in the Hall of Fame that is in that old school group of statistic darlings. Though he's still pitching, so a lot of this stuff might happen. But we're going to see a distinct change. And so I like to be positive about it, think back and be like, Clayton Kershaw, once in a lifetime talent, amazing pitcher, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. But what that means in the future will be different, and it will find ways to have novelty and enjoy that. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Clayton Kershaw, thank you for your service. We may not have another Clayton Kershaw, but we sure as hell are going to have a lot of new pitchers coming through the system that were inspired by him. So congratulations on 3,000, my man.